the day they threw me away. The room went silent when the lawyer placed the final envelope on the table. My mother sat across from me, dressed like she had already won. Her pearl necklace, her perfect smile, her fake tears, everything about her looked planned. She hadn't seen me in 15 years. But now, suddenly, she was there. Not because she missed me, not because she wanted to say sorry, not because she cared about the little girl she once pushed out of her life. She came because my uncle was dead, and she believed his fortune belonged to her. She looked at me like I was still that scared 13-year-old girl standing in the rain with one backpack and nowhere to go. But I wasn't that girl anymore. I was 28 now. I had a career, a home, and a name my uncle helped me build from nothing. And when the lawyer began reading my uncle's will, my mother leaned forward with greedy eyes. Then came the line that changed everything. The lawyer paused, looked at me, then looked at her. And my mother's smile disappeared. Because the secret my uncle had protected for 15 years was finally about to destroy her plan. My parents chose pride over me. I was 13 when my parents disowned me. It started with one argument, then another, then another. My father was cold, but my mother was worse. She knew exactly which words could hurt me the deepest. She called me ungrateful, difficult, a burden. I was just a child. One night, after I stood up for myself, my mother packed my clothes into a small bag and placed it by the door. She said, "Go live with someone who wants you." I waited for my father to stop her. He didn't. I remember standing outside, shaking, holding that bag like it was the only thing left of my life. Then my Uncle Victor arrived. He was wealthy, powerful, and respected. But to me, he was simply the first adult who looked at me and said, "You are not trash. You are family." He took me in that night. He gave me a room, food, school, safety, and something even more important. He gave me peace. But he also gave me one warning. "Someday," he said, "people who threw you away will come back when they need something." I didn't believe him. I should have. Uncle Victor raised me like his own. Uncle Victor never had children. So when I came into his life, he treated me like his daughter. He taught me how to speak with confidence, how to read contracts, how to protect myself, how to never beg for love from people who only loved power. Every birthday, he reminded me, "Your pain is not your ending." Years passed. I finished college. I started working in his company. I learned everything from the ground up. My parents never called. Not on my graduation. Not on my birthdays. Not even when I got my first big promotion. And slowly I stopped waiting. Then one winter morning, Uncle Victor became very ill. Before he passed, he held my hand and whispered, "Promise me you won't let them take what I built for you." I cried and promised. At the time, I thought he was just talking about money. But he wasn't. He was talking about the truth. Mom returned wearing fake tears. The will reading happened 2 weeks after the funeral. I walked into the office and saw my mother sitting there. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. She smiled like nothing had happened. "My baby," she said, opening her arms. I didn't move. 15 years of silence sat between us. Then she started crying. Loud, dramatic, fake tears. She told everyone she had lost her brother and had always cared about me. I almost laughed. Then she leaned close and whispered, "Don't embarrass me today. Victor would want peace." Peace? She threw me out at 13. Ignored me for 15 years. Now she wanted peace because money was in the room. The lawyer entered with a folder. My mother straightened her back. She was ready to receive millions. But Uncle Victor had prepared for this moment better than any of us knew. The will reading began. The lawyer began reading calmly. Uncle Victor left donations to hospitals, schools, and workers who had served him for years. My mother looked bored. Then came the family section. Her eyes lit up. The lawyer read, "To my sister, Marianne." My mother smiled. "I leave $1. The room froze. My mother blinked. "Excuse me?" The lawyer continued. "This amount reflects the value of the love she showed to the child she abandoned." My mother's face turned pale. Then she shouted, "This is fake. He would never do this." But the lawyer didn't stop. He turned the next page. To my niece, Amelia, whom I raised as my daughter, I leave my home, my company shares, my investments, and the complete estate. My mother stood up so fast her chair hit the wall.
No.
She manipulated him. I sat quietly, because I knew the worst part was still coming. The secret letter. The lawyer opened the final envelope. This letter was written by Mr. Victor 1 year before his passing. My mother looked nervous now. The lawyer read Uncle Victor's words. If Marian appears at this table, it will not be for love. It will be for money. She abandoned Amelia at 13 and later tried to contact me privately, asking what she might receive if I died. My mother gasped. That's a lie. The lawyer pulled out printed emails. Mr. Victor saved every message. My mother's confidence broke. Then the lawyer said something that made the whole room go silent. Mrs. Mary and also signed away all parental and financial claims 15 years ago when she gave legal guardianship to Mr. Victor. My mother whispered, that document was private. The lawyer nodded.
Yes.
And legally binding. For the first time, my mother had no words. The woman who came expecting millions had just been exposed by her own signature. 7. I finally spoke. My mother turned to me. Her fake tears returned. Amelia, please. I'm your mother. I looked at her and remembered the rain.
The bag.
The door closing behind me. Then I said, no. A mother doesn't throw her child away and return for the inheritance. She tried to speak, but I raised my hand. You didn't come to my graduation. You didn't call when I was sick. You didn't ask if I survived. But you came today because you smelled money. Her face twisted with anger. You owe me respect, she snapped. I shook my head.
No.
Respect is earned. Uncle Victor earned mine. You lost yours. The lawyer then informed her she had no legal claim and no right to challenge the will without facing the evidence in court. That was the moment she understood. She hadn't just lost the money. She had lost the power. The revenge was not loud. People think revenge has to be loud. Mine wasn't. I didn't scream. I didn't insult her. I didn't chase her out. I simply let the truth stand in the room. That was enough. My mother grabbed her purse and walked toward the door. Before leaving, she turned back and said, You'll regret this. I smiled softly.
No, Mom.
I already regretted losing my childhood. I won't regret protecting my future. She left with nothing. Not the mansion. Not the company. Not the millions. Not even the story she had created about being a loving mother. Uncle Victor's final gift wasn't money. It was justice. He made sure the woman who abandoned me could never profit from the life he rebuilt. A new chapter. After the will reading, I went back to Uncle Victor's house. For the first time, it felt quiet in a painful way. I walked into his study and found a note inside his desk. It said, Amelia, don't let their rejection become your prison. Build something better. And when they come back, remember who stayed. I cried for a long time, not because I lost everything, because I finally understood I had been loved deeply by the right person. My parents gave me pain. My uncle gave me a future. And now, that future was mine to protect. 10. Moral ending. Sometimes the people who abandon you will return when you become valuable. They won't ask about your wounds. They won't care how hard you survived. They will only ask what they can take. But healing begins when you stop begging them to love you. Family is not always the people who gave you life. Sometimes family is the person who saves your life when everyone else walks away. My mother came for millions, but she left with the truth. And I finally walked away with peace.